If you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. It's called Anchor. You can download it today at the Play Store. Peace. Support the work of Strike 7 Sports by heading to Fanatics.com and purchasing officially licensed gear from the NFL, the NBA, and more. Each purchase made through the text link below goes into the funding of the Strike 7 Sports brand. To proceed, go to the link strike7sports.com/fanatics. I say again, strike7sports.com/fanatics. Thank you. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Branch here, strike7sports.com. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Brian Bodley of the Sweet Berry. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. So we're gonna dive right into it, part two. I think, well, let's take that back. A few weeks ago, leading up to the day of the Super Bowl, Chris Morrison, ESPN NFL Insider, Chris Morrison put out a report that the Colts were trying to move on from Carson Wentz, quarterback Carson Wentz, after the season that went down. He didn't quite live up to his expectations of being that quarterback to get them over the hump and be Super Bowl contenders. So the talk out of in Colts circles is that Wentz is going to be out as Indianapolis Colts quarterback. But I read a story on the Athletic that pretty much added to those reports that came out from Chris Morrison. So I'm gonna just read a little excerpt from it, and we'll just go from there. All right. Let's see. Let's start off. Earlier this week, my colleague Zach Kiefer offered up 10 reasons why Carson Wentz should return to the Colts, and 10 reasons why Wentz should not be an Indianapolis quarterback next season. Definitely laying out the pros and cons for each option. I read each closely in the wake of hearing Chris Morrison's Super Bowl day report that Wentz was out after one season and generally keeping my ear to the ground. I've reached this conclusion. The Wentz experiment was an abject failure in ways that went beyond his own on-field performance and choice. Eschewed the COVID-19 vaccine, and he will not be behind center when the Colts arrive at training camp in December. This is not a source report. This should not end up on the TV crawl saying that Athletic reports that Wentz will be traded or released before the March 18 deadline. This is your humble correspondent reading the tea leaves. This is my strongly held opinion. Nothing more than that. Wentz is gone. Wentz is good as gone. He just is. Just the way Peyton Manning was a goner during the 2011 dreadful season when the Colts hit rock bottom on the way to 2014 season and Andrew Luck was available in the upcoming draft. Nobody believed me back then, for the record. It's like this. If you're in a bad marriage, you don't say it, and you just don't stay in it just because you're not sure there's a Mr. Right waiting outside the door. Clearly, the Colts don't have much in the way of favorable options, not unless Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson suddenly decide it's their dream to play in Indianapolis. Jimmy Garoppolo, he looks like the most he looks like the most likely alternative, even if he doesn't appear at first glance like a significant upgrade on Wentz. But he wins, even his numbers aren't overwhelming. Sam Ellinger, really? Have you have you looked at the free agent quarterbacks? Good heavens, not good, not at all. All right, I'm gonna just cut it off from there. So, with that being said, these reports are coming out that the Colts want to do away with Carson Wentz after just 1 year. So, I just want to ask y'all, pose this question to y'all: how can the Colts get better if they move on from Carson Wentz at that position?
Um,
Go ahead, Lil.
I'll take this one first. Um, First of all, before we talk about moving on for somebody getting better, let's talk about who you have. Carson Wentz, a guy who had a career year this year, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, one of his best seasons ever. Had a really good season for an NFL quarterback. That's pretty good numbers. Boy, as we know, numbers don't always tell the tale, and often your quarterback is judged on what they perform off in big games. And obviously, Week 17 is against the Jaguars. It sticks out to a lot of people when they talk about what's their frustrations about Carson Wentz. You're unable to finish in big games. So, your answer your question, how it can get better? Is number one, number one way to get better. Go get a free agent. Go get a quarterback who's just running with their team right now. Look at the guys that are just growing. Number one, you look at Russell Wilson. Not very happy with the Seahawks at the moment. Number two, look at Kyler Murray. Not very happy with the Cardinals at the moment. Number three, you have Aaron Rodgers. Not very happy with the Packers. Well, says he's had great conversation with the Packers, but has there's been murmurs going around that he's not in love with the team like he used to be. So number one, that's how you get better. Number two, DB, is you go get a quarterback that you groom yourself and do the draft, and you build around that quarterback. Um, I know there's no the quote unquote elite quarterbacks this year in this draft, but they're good enough quarterbacks to where the Colts have enough culture to where they can go get a guy like a Matt Corral, or even if they have to go trade up and get a Kenny Pickett to that could be good in this system and can be a good quarterback that they groom themselves. Number three option is you go test the trade market or free agency market. Wow, you go get a safe guy. I mean, but Teddy. Well, I know Teddy's obviously a guy who's still in Denver, and while that's not the most greatest option, you got to go see what you do. What you do. A guy that I think can fit in this system and do well, y'all. And he's not even better than Carson Wentz, y'all. Is Mitch Trubisky. And I know, I know it sounds crazy, y'all. Like, look, but Trubisky, seriously, I feel like Trubisky grew. Like, I feel like teams have talked about him. He's not. This isn't just out of left field. The Commanders teams, Trubisky is not as bad as people say he is. I feel like he learned a lot last year on backing up Josh Allen and sitting out a year, and I got about another guy, Marcus Mariota, another guy who's learned from being a backup for a few years, has gotten and played well when he's gotten a chance to in a few spot starts. I feel like they're testing the backup market in the NFL, like from guys that they have been former starters and coming in and getting those guys to come play. And I feel like those are their three options: go trade for one of the star quarterbacks, go get a guy in the draft, or go get maybe a guy who's been a backup for a few years but that's been a former starter that can come in and contribute. That's how I feel like they get better. But personally, I wouldn't get rid of Wentz because I feel like he's done. He may not be the guy that just with the superstar you thought he was, but he's still a really good quarterback, and he'll have a market, y'all, if he gets released.
Oh yeah, be no doubt.
Yeah, I think I love a lot of your points, but I personally think they should bring Carson Wentz back. I think he deserves at least one more year. But if they want to go get another quarterback, you better get an upgrade. And the only guy I can think of I've mentioned this earlier in the week, there's been a lot of noise with names linked to the Colts. Go get Tom Brady. And I know people said he just retired, but I feel like if you convince Tom Brady to play, I think you can get him out. He said he wanted to play to 45. He's still 44. I don't, and he's still flirting with the idea of coming to play again. So I think that's a possibility. One day I was thinking, I don't know, I'm not a cap expert and all that, but I was wondering if the Colts and the Bucks can do a trade between Tom Brady and Carson Wentz, and if that could work, and it probably could. And then I think that'd be best for both teams. The Colts get an upgrade, and the Bucks get an answer quarterback. And a lot of people believe that Carson Wentz, because he has a big arm, can really fit into what Bruce Arians seems to be. Another name I just thought of, Jameis Winston. Why not Jameis Winston to the Colts? I think that could work. Is he an upgrade from Carson Wentz? Maybe not, but he had a really sneaky good year, and I feel like if he stayed healthy, the Saints make the playoffs. So I think that's what I would do if I was the Colts. But like I said, if you can't get an upgrade, go out and stay with what you have, because at least you know you're bringing back the guy you had, and he just has to execute better. While he was part of the reason they didn't make the playoffs, he wasn't the only reason. That defense didn't play well their last game. And I think if they come back, add some pieces, they should be right where we think they can be. And that should be a playoff team that can make noise.
All right. That's for me. For me, the way I see it, if you want to part ways with Carson Wentz, you better get an upgrade. A serious upgrade. An Aaron Rodgers type. A Russell Wilson, a Tom Brady, the wild card, a Kyler Murray. But you better get an upgrade, because you brought the reason why you give up your draft picks for Carson Wentz is because you felt like he could win a Super Bowl. And I felt like that as well. I felt like when the Colts got Carson Wentz, I thought they were a Super Bowl contending team. Everybody, a lot of people did. All you had to do, all Carson Wentz had to do was win that game against Jacksonville. It could have been 10-3, 7-6, 10-7, 17-6, 17-10, it don't matter. All you had to do was win that game and you were in the playoffs. You couldn't get that done. Now it's looking like it's being viewed as a stain on his resume, and people are, a lot of, experts, league analysts, TV guys are putting Wentz in that second or third tier of quarterbacks. I don't think that's fair. Even the best quarterbacks have had bad games. I don't think you should just cast him off after this one blurb on his radar on the resume. But I don't know if you're gonna. I don't think you upgrade over him if you move on to get somebody like a Bridgewater, or Jameis Winston may work with his team, but you want a guy. You want the sure thing, the guy that's gonna trying to get you to a Super Bowl. And if you do move on from him, what that says to the rest of the guys of the team, like Darius Leonard, Jonathan Taylor. Michael Pittman Jr. What that says to them, what that message says to them. Because the only upgrade I see, if you don't get nobody, you may have to just suck for a year or bomb a year, and get one of the guys that's coming out of the draft next year, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. I think that's the real upgrade. That's the upgrade, in my opinion. But if you can't get one of these big names coming out this year, you might as well stay with Carson Wentz and run the bag. I think, looking at the roster now, and I saw this on Twitter from somebody, they may need some help at receiver position. You got cap space. Chris Godwin's going to be available. Allen Robinson's going to be available. Who else? Devontae Adams, but he most likely is going to stay. Who else is out there? Cedric Wilson, a bunch of names out there. You need a receiver.
Michael Gallup.
Yeah, Michael Gallup, he's available. Antonio Brown, he's out there. They need a receiver, man. They need a receiver. I'm not sure if Michael Pittman Jr. is a one. They need some help. to go with that offense. But I think that's what they need to do, man. The draft, they draft. I mean, they should be in a position where they could get a good wide receiver in the draft. You know, so I don't think they should move on from him just yet. You know, and another thing I like that coach Frank Reich. He's pretty solid, but sometimes I feel like he played a little too safe in games. Played a little too safe. Relied a little too much on Jonathan Taylor. Like he did. Like there was a point to where I felt like he didn't trust Carson Wentz. You know. So what do y'all think?
No, I didn't really watch too many Colts games, so I'll probably defer to you on that one. But maybe he just knows Carson Wentz as good as he was last year. He hasn't that playing him, and I don't have a problem with him relying on the run. But I don't know. I was just wondering y'all's thoughts. Do you think Frank Reich should be on the hot seat? I heard Colin Cowherd saying that maybe Sean Payton could get there. That could be one of his destinations if Frank Reich doesn't get the job done. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he will be. He will be.
I don't think he should be on the hot seat, but I do know their owner wants them to make the playoffs.
He's impatient.
So we'll see how much he's willing to invest this offseason. That'll be important. And if they're desperate to get that elite quarterback, because that, in my opinion, Wentz will probably get them right with it, maybe one more win better. But if they want to get over the hump and potentially win a Super Bowl again, they're going to need to get an elite quarterback. So that's why Tom Brady makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying it will happen, but I won't be shocked based on what some people are saying. The idea of it that ends up happening.
Oh man, you could call Andrew Luck.
That ain't happening. Andrew Luck ain't coming back. I would love for him to come back up with his son. He kind of reminds me if the Bengals aren't careful, Joe Burrow could be Andrew Luck 2.0. So they better.
I think Burrow will leave before that happens, man. He'll leave.
Say what?
I think Burrow will leave. He will leave.
I could see him leaving. If Mike Brown, he better pony up the money, do whatever it takes to keep him there. But yeah, I could see him. They're not careful. The only problem is it's harder in the NFL to leave because of these franchise tags. So you can franchise a guy 3 times. So if he leaves, he's like 30-something years old. But yeah, I see your point.
So you wouldn't do that? You wouldn't do that trade I mentioned in the chat?
For the Colts?
You wouldn't trade Quentin Nelson for T. Higgins?
That's a tough one.
You wouldn't do that. Bengals would be fine, dude. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess receivers you can replace. Yeah, I would probably. I guess I would do it.
You'll be fine. But we'll see, man. All right. Real quick, I want to ask you, both of y'all, if Leo can come back in the chat, about these Tom Brady rumors about him unretiring and not playing football again. Because he mentioned on this podcast that I'm paraphrasing here, but nothing's just he was saying that nothing is a sure thing in regards to him, not coming back. He'll never say never on closing the door for playing football. So I think, me personally, if he does come back, the best spot for him would be the San Francisco 49ers with Kyle Shanahan. That would be that's a slam dunk, man. The NFC would be a slam dunk for him to go back to the Super Bowl. He's from the area, team that he rooted for. The offense with Kyle Shanahan runs fits what he does. I felt like the 49ers were in a better situation the first time he left New England compared to Tampa Bay, despite the weapons that they had. I felt like 49ers have the better coach, the better organization than the Buccaneers. But if he comes back, I prefer. Well, I won't say I prefer, but I do prefer since I'm a Saints fan. But I do prefer that he goes to the NFC West and plays San Francisco. But that'd be the best situation for him. But I want to ask you: do you think what would be the best spot for him to return if he comes back? And do you believe it? Do you buy it?
I personally, this is not for me, but I would like the Colts since I'm a Titans fan. But I would rather him obviously go to the 49ers. I'd like him to go somewhere, a team that hasn't won before, and go there and maybe help them try to win one. That's what I like to see.
He's not
If
gonna
he
do that
comes
though.
back, I know he's gonna do what's best for him or the right situation. So he did say he loved the 49ers growing up, and the 49ers, I feel like they're willing to make an upgrade because they don't think Trey Lance is ready. So I agree with you. Either the 49ers or the Colts. That's what I like to see.
And last one. Are you buying that? There's a rumor that came out today that's floating around about Panthers being interested in Kirk Cousins. I think it is.
So,
Yes.
I could see it happening, but right now it seems like the Vikings are going to keep Kirk Cousins.
That's a lot of money,
Panthers
dude.
are desperate,
That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money to be taking
but
on.
it's only 1 year.
Yeah.
So they know they're only guaranteed that this year. They know if they have a bad year, they may not be back. So I believe they're willing to do it.
Yeah, they're desperate, man. Hey, yeah, Leo, I was asking Brian about this Tom Brady rumor of him returning back. I was asking what situation would be the best for him, and do you believe the rumors? Dope.
No, I don't believe the rumors. He's not coming back. Like, can we all? I know we all want. It's like I feel like we want Tom Brady to come back, y'all.
I don't. I told you I'm glad he retired.
Like, so I'm saying, DB, like everybody. But why is this a conversation? Like, why are people talking about this? Like, why is this even relevant? The man says he's done. He's finished. He's done playing. If he's not coming back. If he were to come back, the best situation would be, even if he were to come back, the best situation for him would be on the couch, looking at his 7 Super Bowl rings on the couch, man. He has nothing to prove. Like, I know people say, oh, he wanted to play for San Francisco. They didn't draft him. They drafted Giamatti. Giamatti Carmazzi ahead of him. Yeah, Carmazzi in the 3rd round ahead of him. And yada, 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 yada. But boo-hoo, it's the past. We'll get over it. So, I could, if he were to come back, y'all, the best situations, obviously, if you had to rank it for him again, believe it or not, I think the Patriots would be the best situation for him. Why not go back?
Patriots, but
I know Max there, but he's better than Max Jones.
Yeah, but he left because of the weapons, the void of weapons. He's not gonna, bro. He got Buffalo, but man, with Buffalo, the boy Buffalo play now, it'll be hard.
Or he could go to what if Aaron Rodgers leave Green Bay?
No, he's not going. He's not going there. Carolina. No, he's not going back to the South. I think the best situation to be San Francisco, man. To me.
What about the Browns?
Nah.
Why not?
I heard from that. There's a rumor from that beat writer, Mary Kay Cabot, I think from Cleveland, is that they're looking for they're gonna be looking for a quarterback. Yuri?
Yeah, I'm in the. I had to run to the bathroom, but I got you.
Yeah, I said there's some rumors about the Browns looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, I still think they stick with Baker, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. What about the Steelers? That'd be wild.
He can't wear 12 though. Steelers, nah, man. Brady, I think Brady's gonna go to the West Coast, man. I think the best situation for him is the NFC. The NFC is very weak right now, but we say the NFC is weak right now, but like when the season actually start, it might be better than the NFC, the AFC. You know, we never know, but we say that now because the way it looks. But we'll see though. So you're not buying the Cousins to the Carolina rumors?
No, I ain't buying it.
You think they're just desperate?
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's one of those type of rumors.
Yeah. All right. That's all we have for y'all for right now. Give us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you feel. Please subscribe to the channel. If you listen to this through Apple, Spotify, Give us a 5-star rating. Leave comments, leave reviews. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Also, check out strike7sports.com for latest content on NFL, the NBA, and much more. Have a blessed night. Peace. We out.